Fortnite's Battle Bus, one of the only constants of the game that has been around since the very beginning and is still around to this day, as long as you ignore the fact that the Dark Voyager just decimated it into a million pieces. He killed the bus driver! The Battle Bus has been with us for over 8 years at this point, and we have never, ever discovered the answer to one simple question. Who is the bus driver? In today's video, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to look at some theories. We're going to look at some fact. And at the very end of it all, I will explain my very own personal theory for who I think the Battle Bus driver is. But first, as always, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe and use code BigCraigd in the front item shop, or become a channel member like help the Craigs who pay 99p a month for a shout out, or you can become a Turbo Craig who get a shout out and exclusive videos. Now, who is the bus driver? The bus driver's identity is currently unknown. It's one of the biggest mysteries of Fortnite. However, there are some straight up facts about the bus driver that we know throughout the 8 years of Fortnite. Let's go in chronological order and discover what's going on here. So we start at the beginning, Chapter 1, Season 1. The Battle Bus driver drives the Battle Bus from the spawn island to the other side of the Battle Royale island, allowing players to jump from the Battle Bus and land onto the island. It can be assumed that after this, the bus driver parks the Battle Bus right back onto spawn island. We can also see that there are multiple buses on Spawn Island, which confirms that there is not one singular battle bus, and instead there are at least a few. I'm not counting them, dude. We can also confirm this because on the island throughout Chapter 1, there are multiple crashed battle buses, which confirm that 1. The battle bus driver has crashed the battle bus a few times before at least, and 2. The battle bus driver has survived these crashes, assuming that it's the same person, entity, thing. Just by looking into the past, we've already understood what we're working with here, but there's more. In Chapter 1, Season 6, the cube sends a shockwave throughout the island, causing the battle bus to crash yet again. We do not see the bus driver at any point during this cutscene. To round off the Chapter 1 segment, we can see the battle bus get sucked into the black hole during the end event, and we know that this bus has the bus driver inside of it because the bus driver honks their horn as they get sucked into the black hole. Skipping forward about a year, we can see that the bus driver also has the ability to adapt to a brand new driving style as Iron Man redesigns the battle bus to take into battle with Galactus. The bus driver is able to fly this no problem. Then during the Galactus event, we are the bus drivers, and I know there will be one or two of you in the comments going, checkmate, we're the bus drivers, and I have to disagree with you there. Iron Man says that he hacked the loop in order to essentially clone the battle bus, meaning that we are not driving the battle bus, we are just driving a battle bus. I would imagine that the battle bus driver was not actually present during this event. They were probably just chilling, having a nice cup of tea, just hanging out. Next, 2 seasons later, we can see that Agent Jones uses the battle bus to return to the island after stealing files on the 7 from the Imagined Order base beneath the island. Interesting. So where does the bus driver come from? What are their allegiances? Well, we don't know for sure, but we do know that the Imagined Order were the ones maintaining the battle buses throughout Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, because in the Imposters game mode from Chapter 2 Season 7, we can see that the Imagined Order cleans the battle buses after they're taken out onto the field. We can also see inside of the battle bus repair station on the Imposters map that there seems to be a platform that takes the battle buses to an undisclosed location, seemingly where they are all stored before they are taken to Spawn Island, if not Spawn Island itself. And we know that Imposters is canon because we walked through the battle bus repair station during the Chapter 2 finale when the sign just takes us to meet up with Jones and the Foundation. See, I know what I'm talking about. Nothing regarding the bus driver themselves occurs during Chapter 3. However, in Chapter 4, something interesting happens. Despite the Imagined Order not being around to maintain the battle buses anymore, and the 7 are all missing, the battle bus not only remains in decent condition, but it manages to upgrade itself with rocket boosters to help guide it through the Chapter 4 map, which is in space. Now, how did the bus get upgraded? I mean, maybe the bus driver did it themselves with their intensive technical knowledge, or maybe something else happened. Keep watching to find out what happens. Smash like if you want to know what happens. Go. Later in Chapter 4, Season 4, during the Fortnite birthday event, we get the opportunity to wish the bus driver a happy birthday. Isn't that nice? Nope, there's lore behind it. This suggests that the bus driver has the exact same birthday as Fortnite, and possibly the loop itself. Interesting. Even if the bus driver does not share a birthday with the Fortnite loop, we can at the very least say that the bus driver shares a birthday with the Last Reality's training regime thing that was revealed during the 0 hour event. You know, that screenshot where they showed like the amount of time that Fortnite's been around. Yeah, that's the bus driver. You know what I mean? We also got the Battle Bus Transformer skin, but I don't think this has anything to do with anything. I'll explain why when we get to the theory section of the video, but just ignore, pretend it doesn't exist. Don't look at him. In Fortnite Chapter 4 OG, the Battle Bus follows us back in time from Chapter 4 to Chapter 4 OG, and then when the 0 point is shattered, it follows us to Chapter 5. This is interesting because Chapter 5 is not Reality 0, which is where the first 4 chapters of Fortnite take place, which means Chapter 5 is the first time the bus driver leaves Reality 0 with the Battle Bus, allegedly. If you say allegedly, you can say whatever you want. This is also notable because with the release of Fortnite Reload, which is confirmed to be canon thanks to the events of Chapter 7 and 6, you thought I'd say it, wouldn't you? No, I'm not doing it. Not for your enjoyment. No. Does the fact that the Battle Bus is existing at the same time in Battle Royale and Fortnite Reload mean that there are multiple Battle Buses? Multiple drivers? I mean, there's Battle Royale and there's Reload, both happening at the same time. Surely there must be multiple. Later, in Chapter 2 Remix, the Battle Bus and the driver follow us from Chapter 5 to Chapter 2 Remix, which is yet another reality which is not Reality 0. Some people might say that Chapter 5 and Chapter 2 Remix happened in the same reality, which I say no, because in the Big Bang event, you can actually see both the Chapter 5 reality, the Chapter 2 Remix reality, and even the Chapter 7 reality. These are completely different places. Later in Chapter 6, the bus driver follows us yet again to this brand new reality, but now Fortnite OG has also released, which means that canonically, the Battle Bus is at the very least in Chapter 6, Reload, and OG at the same time, not to mention Blitz, which releases midway through Chapter 6, which means that they're at the very least, canonically, 4 different buses and bus drivers all operating at the same time. And then in the Simpsons season, the bus driver does not follow us, which is interesting. A piece of the Zero Shard is taken by the Simpsons aliens, Gumbo and Cornelius, or whatever I called them, to Springfield, which turns into Springfield Island and gives it like a mini loop. It's a mini loop and not a main one because, well, everyone can still talk, and most importantly, the bus driver does not follow us. The bus driver in the Simpsons season is Otto. He's some guy from the Simpsons. I don't know who that is. And finally, for Chapter 7, the Dark Voyager marks the bus driver as a target for elimination for the last reality, and the Voyager's cube cradle shoots a laser beam at the battle bus, causing it to explode on impact, killing the bus driver. Man, why is it always the good ones? I can think of at least 30 people that deserve that more than them. And the bus driver is confirmed dead, by the way, by the kill feed, which now says that you paid respect to the bus driver instead of thanking it. This is so sad. Smash like for bus driver. But Dummy's repairing the battle bus as we speak. In fact, by the time this video comes out, the battle bus might already be back. So, what the hell is going on here? Now that the Fortnite history lesson is over, it's theory time. Everyone's favorite time of the video. It's theory time, the fan favorite segment. You know, isn't that the fan favorite segment? Everyone keeps asking me to do theory time. It's theory time, guys. I'm going to walk you guys through every single theory I can think of regarding the identity of the battle bus driver until we get to my personal favorite theory at the very end. If you have your own battle bus theory, let me know in the comments. I'll probably read it. Number 1, the bus driver is some guy. This theory is that the identity of the bus driver is not important and it's literally just some guy, some stupid, unimportant guy that nobody likes. And I mean, come on. I've just listed a bunch of feats that the bus driver has accomplished, and you're going out here saying it's just some guy? My guy, the battle bus got upgraded with rocket boosters, for God's sake. This guy can't just be some idiot. Number 2, the bus driver is an imagined order agent. This could be plausible for the first 2 chapters, but the second the imagined order is disbanded, this theory makes no sense because the battle bus driver just carries on as normal even though their employers just don't exist anymore. Not to mention the fact that there would need to be 4 different bus drivers operating at once for all the game modes. But it is strange that the imagined order have at the very least had some ties with the battle bus because of the imposters game mode. I guess it means something, but what it means, I don't know. Number 3, the bus driver is a looper. They could be, especially for the first few chapters, but when the IO disappears and all of these new game modes come into the game, who is doing the quality assurance for all these new bus drivers, huh? Do they just let anyone drive the buses these days? Number 4, the bus driver was actually just Otto the entire time. Unless Otto can transcend literal time and space, I don't think so. Number 5, the bus driver is a transformer. See, I told you we'd get here. This would suggest that this one singular machine is every single battle bus, which I highly doubt considering all the makeovers and the fact that, again, there are at the very least 4 different bus drivers operating at one time. And finally, number 6, my personal favorite. The battle bus driver is the 0 point. Think about it. For one, the battle bus is one of the only constants in Fortnite. Ever since the beginning of Fortnite as a whole, the only time we haven't had the battle bus is right now, after the Dark Voyager blew it up, and magically the storm wave returns after the battle bus disappears. The storm in Fortnite is a conscious thing controlled by the 0 point. It might as well be the 0 point, and I think that the battle bus is the same thing. We can see in the device event the storm fighting back against the device, and once the storm is destroyed, the first thing the 0 point does is turn the storm into a huge wave tsunami thing to replace it. And now, after the battle bus is destroyed, the 0 point yet again creates a giant wave tsunami thing to replace it. Coincidence? Maybe. Still don't believe me? Let's keep going. Chronologically, because we like to make sense here. We have never seen the bus driver, for one. In game, in cutscenes, the windows are blacked out or the bus driver is just out of view. We have never seen that it is a person. And I don't think it is. Second of all, Iron Man was working with the Imagined Order for Chapter 2, Season 4 and had to hack the loop to make modifications to the battle buses. If the driver was just some guy, why didn't he just mass produce the battle bus instead of having to hack the loop itself, you know? Next, in Chapter 2, Season 7, for imposters, the Imagined Order are controlling and maintaining elements of the loop that we know for a fact that the 0 point could look after all on its own, like chests, supply drops, storm controlling, and of course, battle bus repair. The fact that the Imagined Order disappear after Chapter 3, Season 3, and the battle bus stays perfectly fine with no dip in quality at all tells me that it didn't need the Imagined Order and it was actually just being controlled by a higher power, i.e. the loop, just like chest supply drops in the storm. In Chapter 4, the battle bus manages to upgrade using rocket boosters to be able to fly through space, despite there being not a single knowledgeable character around. Oh, maybe it was Amy! Yeah, maybe it was, but considering the fact that the battle bus is already upgraded the second that Reality Zero is reformed, like literally, the second that Paradigm rebuilds the island, the bus is upgraded. Like, come on now. Next, the bus driver shares a birthday with Fortnite, which from a lore standpoint would mean that the bus driver shares a birthday with the loop? Maybe? Yes? Next, things get a little bit wacky there, kind of ramble, so just bear with me here. The battle bus follows us back in time to Chapter 4, Season OG, and then it follows us to Chapter 5, which is not Reality Zero, remember? The 0 point is shattered into a bunch of tiny pieces and scattered through the universe, or the omniverse, if you lore purists are going to come at me. Now, my theory is that a bunch of different realities were essentially infected by the 0 point, turning them into a loop, just like the normal map. Island, whatever. For example, Chapter 5, which didn't exactly have a 0 point shard present, but it's heavily theorized that Pandora's box had something to do with 0 point energy. The 0 point energy in Chapter 5 turned it into a loop, and a loop needs a storm and a battle bus to function, so the 0 point sent a battle bus and a storm to Chapter 5. Then, in Chapter 2 Remix, we can see a 0 point shard flying in the sky during the Chapter 5 finale, which would explain why Chapter 2 Remix has a loop, and most importantly, a battle bus and a storm. Then, in Chapter 6, we can actually see the island get turned into a loop in real time as the 0 point shard from Chapter 2 Remix leaves that reality and crashes into the Chapter 6 island, turning it into a loop and giving it a storm and a battle bus. Yeah, I know that there's one right there. I have genuinely no explanation for that. Remember how during the Big Bang event we could see every single map from Chapter 5 to Chapter 2 Remix, even Chapter 7, and Chapter 6 was the only one not there? It's because it wasn't a loop yet. You see what I'm saying? I believe these 0 point shards also ended up in the Reload, Blitz, and OG realities, which is why they have a storm and a battle bus there too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I hear you saying, Craig, how's Otto the bus driver then? What's happened there? Well, it's not perfect, but I have a bit of a theory. Springfield is only turned into Springfield Island because of the 0 point shard, and not the big one that was in Chapter 6, the tiny little one in Homer's hand. My theory is that the 0 point energy in Springfield Island wasn't enough to fully make a new loop, so the 0 point took what it could to get one working, which is why the storm looked different, or why people could talk without their memories being wiped, or why Otto was the bus driver and not the usual driver, who I still think is the 0 point. And then to finish this off, we have one final plot hole. The Dark Voyager destroys the battle bus in Chapter 7, seemingly killing the battle bus driver and causing Reload, Blitz, and OG to be shut down, as they have no driver either. The only possible way I can explain this is that the Voyager's Cradle's laser beam had some kind of magic to it that took away some of the 0 point's energy, meaning that it couldn't recreate the loop using a battle bus, so it used the storm tsunami again, and that's all I can think of. And now, it's up to us to repair the battle bus and give the 0 point something to work with so we can fully restore the loop, or something like that. I don't know, man. That might explain why the bus driver was on the Voyager's hit list to begin with. Maybe it wanted to weaken the 0 point, which was already working overtime by creating loops in all these different realities to make it easier for the last reality to do, whatever they want to do with it. It's not a perfect theory, I'm well aware of that, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me. The battle bus driver, at the very least, isn't human. I think it's a necessity to the loop created by the 0 point and was maintained by the Imagined Order before they disbanded, and once the 0 point shattered, it created loops all across reality, leading to there being multiple bus drivers, and now that the Dark Voyager used the really epic laser beam to destroy the battle bus, it's caused the 0 point as a whole to lose some power, which would explain why the battle buses are completely gone in every reality. The only plot hole that I quite literally cannot explain for me is that the fact that in the Chapter 6 opening cutscene, there's a battle bus already there before the 0 point shard arrives on the island. That's like the only thing I can't really explain, but also cutscenes have always been inconsistent with the storyline, so But anyway, that's it from me. If you did enjoy today's video, then be sure to subscribe and use code BigCraigd in the Fortnite item shop, become a channel member, do what you want to do, or you can click the funny card on the screen to take yourself to a video like this one, but better. Goodbye.